to know that if you keep dwelling in the past, you will remain in the past. Can I get a fucking yeah?
I'm the man, yes sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I would label the drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from hunger pain.
Late ill kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of The Tired Chronicles. Right? No, it's on screen. Star Trek Discovery. We're talking about that Rosetta. All right? I was like, oh, we meet a new character? So, anyway, I am not by myself. I am joined right over here by an esteemed colleague, all right? Better known, Solar Gray.
Hey everybody, how's it going out there? I'm Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and I am coming at you from the Wizard's Tower. Happy to be on this man's show today. Boy, we got some stuff to talk about.
Yes, we do. Shout out to anyone in the chat. Shout out to anyone who's lurking. Shout out to people on the replay. Of course, like, share, subscribe, show it to your mama, your daddy, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, as long as your new girlfriend ain't mad. Tell your wife to watch it. Tell your husband to watch it. You know, we all ages here. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't got to worry about the F-bombs most of the time. Every now and then, I guess, but, you know, we keep it cool. So I want to open up by this. This is something I've never covered in Star Trek or in this specific show of Star Trek. Okay. They've got some nice furniture.
Furniture?
I really paid attention. I was like, you know, some nice furniture in here. I was like, these seats are nice. When they went to Burnham's, when they were in Burnham's room, I was like, this is nice.
Yeah, thinking back on it, I do gotta say the desk chairs and engineering are pretty sweet.
So let's talk about like what we are the fellas. All right, we proud. All right. Not only is everything apparently still good with Saru, but got invited to a stroll on the holodeck. That's right. I'm telling
You
you.
just invited him for a stroll. It ain't nothing. That's just his friend. That's all. That's all. That's just his friend.
Look, they ain't his friend because the way Stamets and Burnham looked at each other, they were like,
that's all. A stroll. That's all. It's But you know what? She had to have guts to ask him on that stroll.
You know what? Because
in front of everybody, some serious guts.
Mm-hmm. That
he
lets
should
you know
be experiencing those guts. Yeah, he should be experiencing those guts on that walk. That that kind of thing.
So I do want to stop the show for a second. Shouts out to RJ Nerdy Brew, just in case he does or doesn't make it. But shouts to him. I want to put together, if I could, with you, a fellow gentleman of taste, a quick playlist for your boy Saru, just to prepare yourself. All right. I'd say you need to put together a little bit of a Marvin Gaye. Get yourself some Jill Scott. A little Teddy P.
I don't know. Teddy P is a little rough. Teddy P is a little. That's a little aggressive for Mr. Saru. That's a little aggressive.
Oh, so Teddy P a little aggressive. All right, we're really in
Teddy P and Otis Redding are a little bit rough, Saru is Mr. Swag. He ain't Mr. You got what I need, Definitely some Luther though.
Yeah, Luther.
Definitely some Luther.
Yeah.
All right, some Luther.
If this world were mine, boy. I tell you, Saru,
seriously,
boy. Saru, see, because all you got to do is just
we're talking about if only for one night.
Man, because look, we might not, we don't know what's going to happen with the 10 seed.
Mm-hmm.
So that one night right before they meet the 10 seed, be like,
right, exactly.
Couple candles.
And his knees are shaking. His knees are shaking, so he's got that going. Always Prince. Always Prince.
Yeah.
Always Prince.
I don't know, because Prince might get a little too nasty for Saru.
No, see, that's the thing, though. Prince did like a little bit of everything. So I ain't talking like Dirty Mind. And I'm definitely ain't talking, maybe Insatiable. Yeah, but I ain't talking like Darling Nikki.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
maybe a little
smoothness for you.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit, maybe a little bit of more
happy.
papers.
I like this couple.
Yeah, seriously. Like I gotta say, man, this show, as far as showing romantic relationships, is number one with all the Star Trek shows, because they don't pull punches. They're just like, we got this relationship over here that is working, but guess what? Working don't mean perfect. People gonna fight. Now we got this one over here that's working really well. And guess what? It's a gay relationship. But you know what? They've been through it. Those two are ride or die for each other, and that's what it looks like. Now we got this one over here doing a long distance thing. Both of them. They're ride and die. Then we got this one over here that's like real cool and working that long distance thing. And now we got this one that's very much like the relationship between two college professors, that middle-age love, that middle-age, we ain't normally playing the field. We're only doing something that's meaningful. And I would say I got time to take it slow, but I'm too tired to rush. I'm also too tired to waste my energy on something that's going to waste my time. So we going to take this. That's what I'm seeing. And
it's nice. It's nice. It's real nice.
Yeah. I mean, and she asked him. She's like, I know you asked me out to dinner and I couldn't talk to you and all that, but you done had a day. You want to go for a walk? Because I know how to put somebody back together after they going back through a thing. It's like, yeah, you do. So there's gonna be some mind melding up in here. All right? There's gonna be some mind melding. All right. Speaking of funny things about relationships in this, when Tao asks about Detmer, and just like, while Gray's away, she's like, no. Well, she is young. Yeah, they are young. So you're sitting up, and it's like, oh, so since Gray here right now, like, no. It's
Like,
just,
nah,
I just
like
think
that.
she's cool. I kind of want to be her friend. I kind of look up to her, and it's like, oh, just
that's how it starts. No,
just don't start with the "I want to be you." That's a little creepy. I am so glad we got Reno back. I'm like, Reno.
Yo, shot.
If you notice, her uniform was crooked. Like her jacket was zipped in that weird manner, so one side was longer than the other.
I thought that's how everyone else's in her crew was.
I couldn't tell, but I'm like, you know what? It's halfway unzipped. It's sitting crooked. She's sucking down that Klingon coffee. I'm like, that is what an engineer looks like.
And we know
I have worked with enough of them.
That's what we know. What's in that Klingon coffee? Here it'll be a little coffee that has a little extra in there, a little extra pick me up, if you will.
Nah, I wouldn't say
this is
me
adult
up.
coffee.
I would say a little extra warming.
Yeah,
that's that McCoy camp out coffee.
So of course, we're here. We're trying to go. We know there's the hyperfield. We want to stop by this planet. We got to, figure out, see if we can find something to provide some context, to be able to talk to them, figure out, what these people are about. And when they took the people that they took, I was like, I get it. I know these are some good people, but like, if y'all die, but then I was like, oh, they ain't gonna die. It'll be good. But just in real life, if these four people died, like, there's some serious. The captain and
that's
the first
what
officer
Ngoya was saying.
But,
That's what Ngoya was saying.
Like,
although I ain't gonna lie, I got mad at this episode for a hot minute.
Okay.
Because I've been working on a storyline like that for your game, and I'm like, I know they watch this. I can't use this now.
Well, you can always tweak it and change it.
Y'all are too smart, especially Hannibal, to not recognize that that's where this is going. And
he'll be like, I know exactly what to do. He'll be like, touch the dust.
Yeah. So, well, I can say about this episode, man. All right. Number one, there are certain types of people in this world. They're the kind that cry in the first 10 minutes of the movie Up.
Okay.
And then there are monsters. And monsters are not going to like this episode. Because it's like, what about the space battles? What about all that? It's like, nah, man, this is character introspection and emotional stuff. So
they're hitting you with the setup.
If you don't want to get real in this one, if you don't want to get real and you watching this stuff because you want to turn off your brain for a space adventure, you watching the wrong show. Okay, you need to turn on The Mandalorian or something because this one, this is what Star Trek started as.
Yeah,
this was straight up like alien thing leads to introspection, morality play, and in case you need to get your head together.
Believe me, the action's coming. They let us know the action's coming with a very clear statement that they said twice in this episode. And we'll cover that later. But they
yeah, I know the statement you're talking about too. I know the statement you're talking about too.
But I do enjoy the exploration. I enjoy the feelings that they experienced, because imagine if you could bottle up the feeling of sort of like being swaddled as a baby, being held by your father or mother. Imagine if you could bottle that feeling. Man, like, I feel together. I feel bad today. Let me open up the pure joy of being in the arms and carefree and in the arms of my mother or father. Let me bottle that up.
I am glad you brought that up, because when I was watching that and they cracked the code for all that, I'm sitting up going, and they just introduced the drug trade. Oh my God.
I mean, I hate to say it, but we know it would be overused. We know it would. We know it would be overused. But
don't let the Emerald Chain get their hands on that dust.
Man,
We gonna have Rudy Raymore running around talking about like taking out that dust. Got Black Dynamite flying around in the ship trying to take out all the dust dealers in the community.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
Well, I'm sorry, man, but you're gonna have to wrap that up. You know.
But I was just wondering like how beautiful it must feel. Even Hugh brought up like, hey, Counselor Cronenberg told me that I need to take some time. And like when I was in there, just feeling that like, I'm sure that sense of maybe calm or just being free of worry, like those feelings, like the feeling of, you know, just pure relaxation and joy. I mean, unless, you know, your diaper's full, but I mean, besides that, you know, if you could get that feeling back, but of course, like you said, the drug trade, because if you could get that feeling back, how much would you pay for it?
Bruh, if I had a pound of that dust, we wouldn't have to do this for a living no more. No more.
Man, because all they have to do is touch it, and then it gives them that rush of feelings.
Exactly.
So
I'm like, man, that is LSD on turbo. That's all.
And then
I gotta
also
say.
having the other emotions as well. I think they said something like 16
different
So,
emotions.
I mean, let's be honest.
Like they came across the Scarecrow's place, man, because that fear dust was serious.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Do you think the Pentagon wouldn't want their hands on the dust to get everybody pumped up to go out there and shoot and slash and cut everything?
They wouldn't have to do that. All they would need is the dust for fear. Just one bomb with fear, everybody be too scared to not comply. It is, like I said, if the Emerald Chain finds out about this stuff, you know.
Well, the good thing is that the Emerald Chain is being mopped up in the background. You know, with Cronenberg, Commander Nan, and Michelle Yeoh's
Bryce.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Did Michelle Yeoh go? She went back through.
No, she went back to her universe.
Yeah, she went back to her universe. So no, she.
But no, that's where Bryce is.
Yeah, Bryce. Yeah. Bryce was like, all right, y'all. Well, you know, I'm out. It kind of feels bad. It's like, you know, they're going on to. It's like when you have a crew at work, and like y'all been through everything, and now they're going on to a better job. So it's like on one hand, you're like, yo, man, this dude is finally about to get the money he's supposed to be making. But then at the same time, it's like, dang, man, like. We used to hang out, and we used to hang out in the cafeteria, you know, and so it's just like, it's bittersweet.
I don't know. You know what I saw when Bryce was like, "No, I got offered a job at Section 13. I don't want to make this an episode of constantly complaining about your game, but it was, I got offered this other job. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Y'all going through the galactic barrier? See, I love y'all, but I don't really love y'all. See, I know y'all. And I'm all about exploration, but I ain't about exploration.
They family. I ain't gonna put that on Bryce. They family. You know. They took me from someone who was like, "Why is Tilly on this show?" to someone's like, "You know what? This is where you belong." You know, raising up the next generation of the exploration pilots and whatever commanders.
Oh, Tilly?
Yeah. You know, like now, I actually care about her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but with Bryce, I was like, oh man, I just started to like you. And he's like, yeah, no, I got another job. And the whole thing I heard was, nope, peace. You know, like, oh, y'all got to go to the other side of the galaxy, the past the galactic barrier. Yeah, peace. I got this desk job over here. I've been studying Janeway. And when she got back from being lost, see, she took that managerial position. And that came with that benefits package.
Speaking of Janeway real quick, I was watching the episode. When the episode ended, it showed like Up Next, and it showed like the first episode of Voyager, and it had a picture of Janeway with the ship, and Janeway is like kind of like big on the screen. And my son said Star Trek Prodigy, and I was just like, yeah. she is
You,
on
my
Star Trek
friend, are
Prodigy.
not failing as a parent.
I was like, yeah, she is on Star Trek Prodigy. I was like, yes, that's, and I said that's Principal Janeway. I was like,
Yeah, you are not failing
I
as a
swear
parent.
she looks like a middle school principal in the show. Like, it's the haircut, man. Like, it's the cut. Like, she's she's a school principal.
Kate Mulgrew has always had a school marm thing about her because of her voice.
Shouts to Geeky Andre. Says, I'm not ready for this season to end. Yeah, we only got 2 more episodes. And I think it's about to get crazy.
Well, we know it's going to get crazy.
Because this episode was nice and smooth and like introspective and feelings. Yeah.
Well, the pieces have been set. Yeah. Okay. You got super genius jerkwad that we want to get back to his universe now because I'm tired of looking at him and all of his machinations. But you also got Ngoya, Book, and Reno now. Like their team just doubled over here.
Yeah.
And then you got...
Well, Reno isn't really part of the team. We'll get into that.
No, Reno is... Yeah, but the whole thing is they're in this situation where it's like, look, I better help to make sure that y'all don't blow yourself up. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's very much that setup over there. And now we got over here, we got President Fraulein actually coming around like I told y'all she was going to. Although I like the linguist. I really do. I do. I like the linguist with the, you know, what? I was just telling it like it is. You know, I'm just, you know, well, you need to work on your bedside manner.
And I thought, because I looked up Ndoye real quick, I thought she was the president. It just has her as a general. So
yeah,
I thought she was the president.
Fraulein is president of Earth as well.
Oh.
Because, since Starfleet is based on Earth.
Apologies.
Yeah. Which means all the years that Starfleet had an Andorian president, that means that Andorian was president of Earth as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, she's...
Because see, I thought it was different since they split off, but this has been, I forgot, they got everything together since last season. Things are mended and I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
But Ngoye is essentially the Joint Chief of Staff.
Okay.
Ngoye is looking at everything through a military lens because Ngoye commands the entire they're the commander in chief of the military. So it's like general and Ngoye is like, nah, son, nah, we got a thing out there that can destroy an entire planet in 6 minutes. And if we think that there is a 1% chance that it might be coming this way, you have to take it as an absolute certainty. You know?
Don't remind me of that.
Hey, man, I'm keeping it real.
I was like 1% chance to absolute certainty? Okay. Okay, you really want to make this movie happen. But so speaking of that, this episode does do stuff that I hate that shows do to make the plot happen and make the show longer. Okay. I don't believe that Saru in a normal situation would experience what he experienced and not convey that to his team. Not saying that he'd be able to perfectly articulate it, but being like, I'm getting hallucinations, I'm seeing this, I'm hearing this, it feels like this. I don't see him just writing it off as just like, oh, well, you know, I'm just having bad feelings. Even if he was, he would say the things that he's hearing. Like,
I get where you're coming. I get where you're
just vague enough so everyone else could stumble upon it.
Well, it was all right. So here's the thing. That's a writer's not contrivance, but it was a writer's tool in the sense of this is the first time Saru has felt that level of abject fear. I mean, remember how the dust works, all right? So that feeling of absolute. So what he was getting was all of the fears, or a good chunk of the fears of every member of that species that was being wiped out at that moment. And that was the first fear of any kind he's felt since the end of season 2.
Okay.
So it's like, imagine never feeling pain. Like, just you're living a life where you don't stub your toe, you don't have muscle tension, your coffee's never too hot, you don't gotta blow on your mac and cheese before you eat it, and then you get shot.
Understood.
So that level of intensity, he wasn't gonna be thinking straight. And
okay.
And so it's very much that whole, I didn't think I could still feel pain like this. I'm ashamed. I'm messed up. Because the last time I was this afraid, I put everybody in danger. I think I even tried to kill Mike. Last time I felt like this. So nope, let me just chill. Let me get this under control. And if it gets way too much, then I'll say something. But
understood. I'll give y'all half a ding on that. Half a ding. Not a full ding, but just half.
So
but okay. Let me talk about
Don't get
Tarka.
me wrong. I give the ding to Burnham and the doctor, because it was, we're under attack, everybody run for cover. It would have been like, Saru, what's up? Nothing. Nah, don't nothing me.
Yeah.
All right. You ain't the of all the people here, you were the one that does not do that.
Yeah, you're not the alarmist type.
Yeah. It's like after Saru lost his fear, it's like, oh, we seem to be under attack, Captain. It would be good if we perhaps raise the shields. That's Saru.
Cool.
Not, oh man, they shooting. Get down. That ain't Saru.
Oh boy. So I want to talk about Tarka for a second because I'm tired of him. Okay, don't try to have this heartfelt, because they try to have this little heartfelt moment in the beginning of this episode again with Tarka and Book. And I'm like, yeah, this would have all been great if this was said way, way back on like episode 3. Like this would have all been valuable in episode 3, this or 2, whenever everybody, like, you're telling us all this stuff after you fired on the ship, after you shot the DMA, after you've done this, done that, after you've done all these things.
See, I'm with the turtle. I think about the fable of the turtle and the scorpion. This one's on Book's head.
Yeah, because
this one is on Book's head.
Yeah, Book definitely. At this time, you just can't. We just can't trust him no more. At this time, it's just over. And honestly, if we don't open the next episode with him literally knocking Tarka Slam out and putting him in cuffs, I don't know where we like, yo, Book, because there's a difference between us being like, okay, we snuck on the ship and made it so that we can just ride with them. You took a hostage, man. Like, what do you? No. Look,
again,
no.
this one
abort.
Again, no, that's
we're abort.
That's
we're
the turtle and the
open up
scorpion.
channel. Hey, Burnham, look, we're here.
Yeah.
Look, I know things have been stupid. Can we just talk? Just you and me. Let's talk, because it's gone too far, and most of it is my fault. Mm-hmm. Everything since
he shot the anomaly after,
since he shot the anomaly.
Moment,
yeah.
Okay.
Ever since the shooting of the anomaly.
Yeah. Because
I
get that Book is grieving.
Yeah.
But you don't come in my car and grab the steering wheel when I said, all right, we're turning around. You don't do that. And at that moment, I'm like,
and
nope.
He also did something else to the ship too, with how he put in the defense mechanism. So like, all of this stuff was just no. If this next episode opens with him being like, oh well, okay, well, you got to do what you got to do. I'm like,
what?
Whoa,
I think that's why Reno
y'all
is
are
on
trying
the
to
ship.
make this happen.
Oh, I think that's why Reno, like the writers put Reno on the ship, because Book ain't listening to Michael, and everybody else in Starfleet is diplomatic except for that linguist and Reno.
You got what's the guy? The guy that came the guy that's with the delegates. I can't remember his name. Oh, but his sarcasm and bluntness.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the linguist guy.
Oh, because
the one that was doing the
right.
crossword puzzle. You know, little mister. All right, this mission's very important, and you guys are the qualified crew. Don't mess this up.
Don't screw it up. We ain't got a lot of time. Yeah. But it's funny at the end, he was like, yeah, but didn't you need like 2 Rosetta Stones? Then he was like,
the Rosetta Stone needed at least 2 common languages.
Good job.
But good job.
Good job. I'm glad, proud of you.
Well, I like the way that he looked over at President Fraulein, and she was like, what? She was like, yeah, good job.
Like, by the way, it reminded me of Hancock. Ooh, nice reference to a movie that people probably hardly ever reference. But the reference when...
For a reason.
Honestly, I don't think it's as bad as people claim it is. I think it was kind of ahead of its time. But that's a whole nother argument for a whole nother day.
Yeah.
Because now everybody, or it might just be a situation where everybody loves a bad Superman if his hue is different. But you know, because we've seen bad Superman since then, and they've all been praised on some artistic level.
Hancock wasn't a bad Superman. Hancock was a messed up Superman.
Well, yeah.
He was a drunk Superman.
A wayward.
Yes.
It reminds me of the when he learns when teaches them like, yo, you gotta tell the cops they did a good job. He was like, why would I tell them they did a good job? They was doing a good job. I need to show up. He was like, look, you gotta tell. So when he arrived, he had the new suit. He was like, good job. And he was like, all right, thanks. You know what I'm saying? It's they need that assurance, man. That they're like that their contribution isn't going, unnoticed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the cops are doing the best they can. They ain't got no powers. You know what I'm saying? they doing the best they can.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just, but Tarka taking Reno, I'm like, man, Reno is going to be like, Book, I know we don't know each other that well, but seriously, you listening to him?
She's going to be like, this is dumb. I hope you know he's dumb.
This is stupid. Like,
we don't even know who this guy
you've been
is.
doing. The captain has been a step ahead of you in accomplishments, and everything that you're doing is just making everything else harder. So, you need to pull your head out of your butt, stop listening to this fool. And if you don't, I've sabotaged the ship, and you're gonna be losing a whole bunch of stuff in the next 30 minutes. Okay. All right. Cool.
And Geeky Andre said, Geeky Andre said, Tarka took Reno. Oh man, did he take the wrong person? She's going to sabotage his plans. She'll be blunt with Book. So because when he came in and Tarka was there, I was like, well, maybe she was on some "my name Bennett, I ain't in it" mess, or like. And then when she was like, "Hey, how's it going?" I was like, when Book even had a look on his face like, no, you didn't. Like, if this show...
So you were waiting to hear the N-bomb too, right?
Yeah.
You're waiting to hear that. Nick, you lost your mind?
What's wrong with you? Like, bruh, we can't take hostages. And Doye is actually on our side. She's willing to listen. And then you do this? Look, no, I'd have been like, stop the show. Open channel. I'd have been like, ship, open channel, Burnham, look. It's Book, I'm here. Look, just beam on my ship. We need to talk. I know. Look, I just know. Just give me a chance to talk because things are getting stupid and it's not your fault.
Real talk, it would have been like, okay, hang on.
It's been stupid.
No.
Look.
Book should have been like, all right, so you took her hostage. You did this. Mm-hmm. Good job. Pat, transporter. Think. And then open channel. Michael, all right. So Tarka did all this stuff. I just teleported him to the bridge. Baby, I'm sorry. Baby, I'm sorry.
Please.
I messed up. He's in the brig. And so we disagree.
We know this finale is going to bring them back together. You know what I'm saying?
Or tear them completely apart. Or tear them apart. Because I hate to be the media savvy guy, but you know how mainstream entertainment is about black love.
I know, but they've been so good up to this point. Look, don't y'all do this. Don't you do this. All right? Do not.
I'm like, Paramount, you're showing me that you're better. Stay better.
Yeah.
Okay? Stay better. I haven't checked to see if the executives have changed. I haven't, So.
Don't do this.
Yeah. Because I was talking to somebody about it last night, and they stopped watching after season 2. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But something happened. And
season 2's finale was the best finale that whole year. That two-part finale was the hottest finale that year, period.
Real talk, this is one of my mentors, and he was saying he needs to take a break from entertainment because it's written from the perspective of white privilege. And so it may have people of color in it, Black, Asian, LGBT, all the diversified things, but they're doing stuff as though they have the same white privilege. And then it's always the white dude that comes to the rescue at the end. So he was like, I need a break. And I'm like, number one, you worked at Paramount. You know that every Star Trek show needs at least 3 seasons to find their feet. You know that this has been the deal since The Next Generation. And second, yeah, they changed all that. As soon as Michael became captain of the ship, it became what Star Trek was in 65, which was a series of morality plays, exploration, and diplomatic puzzles. And he's like, all right, I'll give it another shot. I'm like, do so.
Yeah, because I know I'm not the quintessential Star Trek fan, but I'll be honest, from frame 1, this show had me. I was like, this show is sweet. And then honestly, then also seeing the money that they were spending on this show, I'm like, okay, so this isn't just a cash grab. They actually believe in this project. All right.
I had a hard time getting through the first 2 seasons. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
So that's interesting because I've noticed that newer Star Trek fans love Star Trek Discovery, at least the first 2 seasons, and older Star Trek fans hate it. Like
I didn't hate it. I had a hard time,
or at least had a hard time.
Because one, I know every Star Trek show is different, but the Michael Burnham character confused me. The retconning Spock kind of hurt me a little bit, and the fact that our main character on Star Trek was having the Kirk problem of making bad decisions based on their romantic proclivities. And I'm like, y'all dropped this at Picard, so come on back. Like, our main character wasn't, I'm in love, so I'm doing something stupid. And that was Burnham first season. And their changes to the Klingons kind of hurt my soul a little bit, but that's okay because it was a prequel. But the show opened with giving us a choice between Captain Burnham and Michelle Yeoh. And the first thing that we see from the first scene is Michelle Yeoh is awesome. And we're following this one, but Star Trek is about the captains, and this is a great captain, And as we're watching Burnham's rise, I'm like, I'm trying to like her. Okay, that was cool. Why'd you follow it up with something stupid? And then they introduced the Christopher Pike storyline. And I'm like, all right, okay, I can deal with this. A more seasoned captain taking command of the ship. I get it. We're watching her learn how to be a captain. All right, cool. We're getting framework for the mistakes that they make. All right, cool. And then 3rd season happened, and I'm like, you learned.
Yeah, but see, I don't know. I guess because I literally had to leave Star Trek Discovery groups because they were full of a whole bunch of people just poo-pooing the show. And I was like, this is interesting. In any other media, if this person were different, they'd be allowed to, it would be known, oh, this person isn't captain yet. They're learning how to be a captain. they're growing up and they're learning things. But it seemed like there was from the community at large undue pressure on this particular
We know
character.
where that comes from. That was an intersectional thing. All right. That was
because I was like, it's clear to see she's not captain yet. It's clear that she sees that she wants to be captain. And the show's showing us that even though you want to be captain, you're not ready yet. And you still got to go through things to learn that there's more than just you or more than just you and your surrogate mom and stuff like that. Like, we're learning these things with her. What's the big deal? Like,
the big deal is
because
that
I feel like if we started the show and she was captain and she was already, if we started the show like now, then they'd be like, she has nothing to go through.
Well,
she hasn't learned anything. Because I've seen these communities.
Those
I've seen
people,
these fandoms and communities,
those people,
and I know how they do.
Those people, I don't even listen to them. But I've been a Trek fan all my life, okay? And Burnham, I brought this up on the show earlier. Why is it that a black person can't start as a captain on a Star Trek show? That, but even though Sisko...
Did Sisko start as a captain?
No, he was a commander.
No.
He got promoted to captain at the beginning of the Dominion War.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
he got a
Sisko may not have been
a
captain, but he was competent. And most Star Trek shows, and I do make fun of Janeway because Star Trek doesn't like it when women are captains because, Janeway's first day as captain, she gets lost on the other side of the galaxy. But that's a different thing. So screw you, Rick Berman. But the one thing that Star Trek always had was the character that you're supposed to be following is competent. And watching the main character of a Star Trek show that's not aimed at kids making all these mistakes was just too big of a rattle for me. Because
now, see, I didn't think she really made that many mistakes. I mean, of course, you have the pitfalls of just like missions in general, where some things go right, some things go wrong.
Yes,
but I never felt like. I mean, I guess when you say not competent, my mind goes to like Homer Simpson as the
no.
That's where my mind goes to. Like,
I ain't
someone
going that
just,
far.
Just bumbling around, and I'm like, no,
not bumbling. Just really, really poor choices. And that's something that a Starfleet captain, in any other Starfleet show, when a captain makes a poor decision, it's the plot of that episode. Okay, maybe no more than 3 episodes. Okay, with Burnham, it was a whole season. That was season 1. I'm talking about the romantic plot with the dude that was a Klingon in disguise. That whole thing.
They also went to another universe. A lot happened.
Yeah, I know a lot happened, and it was the learning curve. All right. And in most other places, people can make a lot of mistakes, but the least competent Star Trek main protagonist that there has been until Discovery was Captain Archer, but he was still savvy and cool. Burnham was good at her one job, but she wasn't fit for command. And every other Star Trek show, every other Star Trek show starts with somebody who isn't just fit for command, but they're in command. And Discovery started with someone who was in command and fit for command that we're not following. So it was jarring to a lot of the older fans like myself. Okay. It's kind of the reason that the older Star Wars fans didn't like the prequels, because they were stories, but it was like, yeah, you're giving us all the main characters we like before they became who we liked. but I don't want to see Anakin. I don't want to see Anakin as a little kid. I want to see Vader. I want to see competent Anakin get seduced by the dark side, and I want to see Vader. You know, I don't want to see Obi-Wan as a Padawan. I don't need Liam Neeson's. I want young Obi-Wan. You know, I want Obi-Wan in his prime. You know, I don't. Yeah, and that was the whole thing. They went too far back in the development of a Starfleet captain with Burnham.
Okay.
And yeah, and
all right,
don't get me wrong.
So okay, I guess because like for people like myself, we're like, yo, first 2 seasons was straight fire. But I guess I can see where people like used to like Star Trek, because I haven't seen all the Star Trek shows. Like, I'm not even interested in watching them all. Like I'm not like I've seen.
We never saw the rise of Kirk as a captain until the J.J. Abrams movie. The show started, he was captain, they had adventures. Next Generation, Picard's here. He was captain, they were on diplomatic missions. DS9. Cisco wasn't captain, but he's now in charge of DS9. And his first day on the job, he came in saying, I'm in charge and here's why. Even Archer was like, I'm a competent captain, but this whole thing is new, but I'm gonna show you why I'm a leader. And Janeway, even though she got lost on the first day, it was, I'm a captain of Starfleet and I got my competent Starfleet people, and the other half of my crew is a bunch of pirates. So you know what? I'm gonna take this Star Trek, take this Federation stuff and what I know from these pirates and terrorists, and I'm going to come back with some of the highest tech out there, information on the Borg, and a treaty between the Borg and us to go against species X135. And then we got Burnham, who's lower management. You see what I mean?
Yeah. And Geeky Andre said, we got to see Burnham and the rest of the crew. They had to learn to be this good. Yeah, and because the Discovery was a brand new vessel where they put everybody was brand new, which is kind of like I said in one of my reviews a long time ago. It was great to see them. They're finally a family now. Like when
exactly.
When in season 2, when they were like, all right, y'all, we going in this crazy mission, we probably gonna die. But it was like, you know what? They're a family now. Because at first, Tilly was rubbing people the wrong way. Burnham was like, yo, I gotta do this. Not Michelle, can't remember her character's name right now, but she was like, yo, gotta settle down, trust the process. Saru was like basically undermining anything Burnham would do because they were butting head to head. Like they were not a team at all.
Because he was still mad at Burnham from when she was first officer of another ship and screwed everything up and crashed everything, made one person need prosthetics and gave him complexes on top of his PTSD. So that's the thing.
You got Stamets, he was a butt, you know what I'm saying? Hugh.
And anybody that was, and they pulled the Game of Thrones where the people that you could watch the show and enjoy, dead, killed, just killed and killed. Okay, brought back, but still killed. But then they brought in Captain Pike, and they wrote him well and got a good actor to play him. And I'm like, I can see how this dude would have inspired Captain Kirk. All right, cool. All right. And the Mirror Universe guy was taken off. And I'm like, good, we're not doing that. But between her romantic issues, her Spock issues, and her mama issues, I'm like, I'm having a hard time. I'm sticking with it because of brand faith. Faith. You know, that brand loyalty, like it's Star Trek, so I know it's gonna get good. And every Star Trek show since the Next Generation starts out a little wobbly, you know, but by season 3, every Star Trek show has found its feet and showed why it's good. You know, Next Generation took 3 seasons, DS9, it was 3 seasons until we introduced the Maquis, Section 13, and when James Avery shaved his head. And then seasons 3, 4, and 5 was Deep Space Nine. So I'm like, I'll give it to season 3, because it's not that they're doing the stupid Joss Whedon thing of you gonna keep watching it because I'm Joss Whedon, but it's we have an idea for this show, let's see if it works. Let's iron out some kinks. Let's do this whole thing. So, okay, I guess you can say Star Trek is the only show that you gotta be patient because the DLC is going to be a lot better than the initial game.
Okay, now peep this. Since we've kind of covered the episode and we're coming to the end, Picard has just dropped. All right, first episode of Picard. I watched the first episode of Picard, and Picard I do not like.
Okay.
For the opposite reason. There's way too many member berries in this show for me.
Yes.
Yes. And in the midst of member berries, I feel like there's no substance outside of it.
Well, I only watched the first season.
The story that I was super excited about, essentially the sleeper agents inside of the Federation, we just was like, oh, forget that story thread. I was like, hold up, that's a very important thread.
Well,
we
the big
opened up
thing
this
though
season,
is that
we're not even mentioning that in this season. We just opened up.
But we've
like,
seen the sleeper agents in the Federation before. That was the entire Dominion War.
That's cool, but to just drop that as a story thread is kind of like nobody even sent a memo like, hey guys, check your employees. Like nothing. Okay. Like it was just like whatever. And then the show, the whole first season was essentially just like it was essentially just like, remember these familiar faces? And I was just like, I like Picard. It's well produced. It looks great. It's not grabbing me.
It's got something there because I remember, I remember when he went to go see Riker and Troy at their house.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, we knew they were going to end up together. I was tired of their push and pull and all that stuff. Yes, they're going to bring back every member of the next generation that's willing to come back. I'm looking forward to seeing Michael Dorn. But I like how it was. Their relationship had evolved. It was like, all right, as soon as Picard retired, he still kept in touch with people, still trying to figure out how 7 of 9 knew him. But it's
I feel like they brought in 7 because they were like, all right, well, we need some more member berries, but we need someone who's going to actually go on a mission with him that's going to bring you some sex appeal. So let's bring in the lady from Law and Order. Let's bring in 7. And like that'll be our sex appeal, and I'm like, I'm cool. Oh, and the synthetic girl, So I'm like, I'm cool with that, but it's just I never really ended up caring too much about the story. I don't know, and I watched every episode, wanting to, and then I was like, you know what, season 2, I don't want to watch it, but let me give it a shot, and I watched and I was just like. I haven't started season 2. Yeah. I don't hate the show. It's just not going there for me. Like the whole thing with Data, I ended up not caring. And I feel like I should have cared.
Well, see, that's not your member berry though. Because I'll tell you, my girl has the biggest crush on the Data character.
Yeah.
Like Geordi was my dude. Data was her dude. So on this show, that's like, remember Data? Remember O'Brien? Remember before he went to Deep Space Nine?
I remember.
Remember when Star Trek was about diplomacy and competence? I remember. Now
it's just a dude chilling out at his vineyard, just kicking it. And he's like,
and now in this season, they introduced. They did drop the member berries where I'm like, ooh, that's a little bit of flavor with cheese and Guinan and Q.
Yeah.
But because
and we get to see both of them this season.
Yeah.
I mean, in this first episode. In this first episode,
I always like those two, the interactions between those two. But yeah, the plot line of Picard is kind of lacking.
Yeah.
But again, it's only had 1 season. And it's a Star Trek show. So I'm like, I'm gonna kick it until the middle of season 2. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably stick around, but you guys that are checking us out and watching, I don't review stuff that I don't like. I don't like to poo-poo on stuff. So yes, I'm watching it. I'll probably follow it, but I'm probably not gonna review it. I'll probably just watch it to see, like, I'll give it a couple episodes, like I did. Y'all know I hung around with Titans. All right, all right. I finally gave it up. Like, you're done, son. But shouts to Geeky Andre said, skipping over the Romulan spies plot was the only thing I didn't like about Picard season 2. Then said they mentioned in season 1 that the Enterprise crew met Seven of Nine and the Voyager in Star Trek Nemesis. Oh.
Hot minute. I was like super hot minute where
I can't remember that movie all the way.
That was Tom Hardy's like debut into the world.
Yeah, you're right. Tom Hardy was in that one.
Playing
It's
a
been
clone
a long
of
time since
Picard.
I've seen Nemesis.
I remembered
Matter of
it
fact,
briefly.
the movie theater I saw Nemesis in is now a church.
That ain't surprising.
but wow, yeah. Okay, all right. So he does know Seven. Oh, also, why does Seven's prosthesis look cheap while Detmer's looks like mad high tech and well paid for? Like, that's all I'm saying. I noticed that too. I noticed it all through season 1. And I was like, maybe I'm bugging. But when I looked at Detmer more, like, super close this episode, I was like, yeah, why does Seven's look so cheap? I know that, like, Paramount got money. Like, why does Seven's look horrible and Detmer's looks great? But anyway, that's a whole other thing.
I don't pay attention to stuff like that because I'm an old special effects guy, so I can see like where they got the certain things, what model kits they used, and all that other stuff. So I'm just like, I don't look at that stuff. I'd be taken out of everything else. But but yeah, this episode, I gotta say, man, this was a great return to what Star Trek was always meant to be. Like, a lot of fans complain and whine and moan about it doesn't follow Gene's vision. If Star Trek was about being
you don't
a
even know
morality
what
play,
Gene's vision is. Do you know him personally? Like, the only people that can say it doesn't follow his vision are maybe like people that worked with him for, let's say, over 2 to 3 years.
No,
like, don't
I'll
be coming
tell
up
you
in here
this.
like I'm a fan that just watched something. You don't know.
I've-
I don't know what George Lucas wanted, and I've watched
done my
all the Star
homework.
Wars stuff.
Now, I've done my homework, and what I can say is this episode was everything Gene Roddenberry wanted the show to be, except for the orgies. Like, throw that on, and then you've got his.
Boy.
I hate to say it, but he was that guy. But it had the exploration. It had solving puzzles in a non-violent fashion. It had the morality play and the exploration of emotions and how, I mean, this whole episode was about how empathy is the key to communication. Like, let's really get, like, the ability to understand what something else feels gives you a platform to communicate with them effectively. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I want to enter into the final thoughts. With that said, final thoughts on what if we go to them and they don't care?
Right. Right.
What if
I
they
was
don't
hoping we
care?
gonna do that. I was hoping we gonna cover that. Yeah. So you know what I see? I see them not caring. And I see how all those seeds have been planted, not just lap shading and dialogue,
Mhm.
but if you think about everything they're setting up, right? For some reason, their planet, Type 1 civilization, because they have the Dyson rings, was destroyed in some way. So we got the destruction, the grief, the fear, and now they're trying to do whatever they do to survive.
Okay.
And in juxtaposition to that, we got Book, an empath whose planet got destroyed and who's making rash decisions and who don't care about making first contact. You see what I mean? So my prediction is very, very, very strong on they're not gonna care. They're gonna be looking out for number one. Like,
yeah, I
like
can
that
definitely see
cousin
them
you got
being like,
that owe you
look,
money but got robbed a couple of days ago, so it's payday time. And it's like, you said you was gonna pay me back when you got your next check, but since they got robbed, they're just trying to hold on to everything. You know what I mean?
yeah, I feel you. I can definitely see that on some like, hey, I get it, but our world is dying or whatever, so too bad kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, what? So you're asking us to just bow down to our extinction to save you from your extinction? Nah, son. Nah, it ain't this ain't my problem. And I seriously think that that next season they are going to start as the antagonist, because this show is missing the Klingons, the Romulans, the Borg, species X141. It's missing bad guys. You know,
yeah,
the
because
closest
we
thing
got
to a
rid of the
bad guy
emerald
we
chain
got-
to a certain degree.
Huh?
We got rid of the emerald chain to a certain degree.
Yeah, but we don't have anybody that's like lurking and that's a real threat. Because Emerald Chain dissolved as soon as Starfleet got back. It was like, y'all just a bunch of gangsters. We're a government who knows who you are. You know?
Geeky Andre said the 10C are so advanced, they had to have known those worlds were inhabited. They might be Galactus doing what they have to do to survive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now that I think about it, going back to Tarka, if he would have been straight up and straightforward with us from the beginning, Tarka and Book could be back in the other galaxy, just continually blowing up the new DMAs that come out to just buy us time to talk to the 10C. And if the 10C is like, we don't care, then we'd be like, then chitty chitty bang bang, mother.
Yeah,
No,
but that's what I'm talking about. So we got Book that don't care, Tarka that don't care, Ungoya who doesn't care. So the only ones who actually care about resolving this peacefully is President Fraulein and the crew of the Discovery. That's it. So it's like, you know,
he even said, I
delegates
trust
from the
Burnham.
VEC, huh?
He was like, I trust Michael. I don't trust the 10C. He's like,
Yeah.
he was like, Michael. He was like, look, I know the woman I picked. I know who I chose.
Exactly.
All right, this woman is brilliant. That don't mean that they ain't evil.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, I trust that she's going to do everything right, but you can do everything right and still lose. So, you know, I'm just being insurance. That's all. If we make contact and they don't care, I'm the Marshall option. So, General, can I hit you up with that Marshall option? That's why she went for it. You know, because she needed an ace in the hole too.
Yeah.
So major shout out to that plot thread, because she's like, nah, man, we should be going out there blowing up stuff. And then he pops up, hey, you know I've been blowing up stuff, right? And she's like,
I've been blowing up
stuff. Like, hold up.
I know how to blow up.
I'm saying you wrong, but I am saying I've already agreed to give them a chance. So let's give them a chance. But I got your number.
I'm gonna hit you up. So with that said, guys, we have come to a close. All right, we've been talking about Star Trek for a minute now. All right, I'm gonna pass it off to Solar Gray, the cinematic sorcerer. Where can they find you?
Oh, you guys can find me Monday through Friday at twitch.tv/BID_P at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we talk about nerd culture, learning hobbies with the concepts of learning, a little bit of life coaching. We get deep. It is my dream to make every one of my episodes of Dark Side of the Room as deep and as compelling as this last episode of Discovery. But come on down. We have a good time. You can also, we got a Discord server. We got a Discord server now. So let me just see if I can put this here. And oh, look at that. Yep. And yeah, on the chat, yeah, we got a Discord server. Come on in, check out what we do. You'll get to see some of the stuff we do for the community outreach. Matter of fact, we just sent a couple of paint kits to a kindergarten in Northern California that didn't have the budget because they're in Redding, which is it's the trailer park side of Oakland. So these kids needed some painting supplies for miniatures and stuff like that. And one of our deckers are out there teaching the kids how to paint the little miniatures. So that's been great. So yeah, that's where you guys can find me. That is what we do.
And Geeky Andre said, I hope in season 5 we see the Klingons in this timeline. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see how they look, how they've changed, how they've evolved, because it's 1,000 years later. So we'll see.
So real talk, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I'm good. It's yeah, I'm good with that. I'm like,
want to see new stuff.
I love the Klingons. I love the past races, but you mentioned it with Picard. Like, it looks like they're using Picard for all the member berries and Discovery for let's do more, Yeah. So, I mean, they pretty much got the ones that you cannot live without. And when it comes to the old aliens, it's like, if there was a coin toss to be made between the Klingons and the Romulans, they focused on each one for seasons and the Romulans did better, So okay. I'm good with that.
All right. Well, with that said, guys, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, like, subscribe, share it. This is how you help. Now, if you want to be part of the Patreon, please consider that link below. Don't worry about hitting a brother up on Cash App, all that. You can do all those things. But if you ain't got nothing but a penny, you can share this, all right? Share it. You know what I'm saying? Open up your contacts to friends.
Well, if you're only going to give once to one channel, give to this dude. All right, give to this dude if you're only going to give once. If you're going to give twice, hit me up after. But if you're going to give once, be part of the HBO crew. All right, that's just what I'm saying.
And in the chat, you can find my Cash App information and all that good stuff. If you want to give a couple of dollars, that folk, you know what I'm saying? We do like the kind of jingles, but we'd rather the kind that folks. Now, of course, share. If you ain't got nothing, share don't cost nothing. Just a little bit of a thumb muscle, just a boop, and maybe another boop. And then after that, you done shared it. So you good. That's all you got to do. Just be like, yo, man, what you doing right now? Yo, I ain't doing nothing, dog. Yo, watch NERDSoul. Oh, who it is? Yo, it's somebody new. You need to subscribe. All right. Then that's in my mind. That's how your conversation went. But shouts out to Geeky Andre, Tyler Bennett for coming through. We'll see you on Batman. Maybe. Not sure. But, of course, we're going to leave y'all with some Black comics. Right now, I have purchased but have not read Bitterroot Volume 3. We got Crescent City Monsters, their Volume 1. Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer is on pre-order for me. I think they're collecting the first 5 issues or 6 issues, but that doesn't drop until November. But I'll have that when it comes out. And there's some new stuff I got too. Tuskegee Airs Volume 1 and Pat Sampson. Shout out to the team at 133 Art. So from us to you, thank you for watching. Thank you for chilling, kicking it, and hanging out with us. But until next time, which might be this evening when I play some video games, but I'm not sure. Peace.
Later, guys.
We out.
Tyler.
All right.
finish him off. If you can't do it, then maybe you should let someone who can, like me,